Welcome back to another great episode of Better Nurse Code. It's your favorite color in the world, brown, along with my co-host, Ruse, and we have another reaction video for you. We have 75,000 healthcare workers went on strike from October 4th to October 7th. So 3 days, they went on strike, and this is precedent because this is the largest healthcare worker strike ever. What they're fighting for, rather, is not so much the money. Obviously they do want more money. Who doesn't want more money? But what their main concern is, what their main desire is, more staff. In the company's defense, Kaiser Permanente, they're saying that they did hire 10,000 more workers that kind of help out the workforce. But the workers, the ones that are on strike, they're saying that they don't see that. They're not really seeing the buffer that they said that Permanente actually hired these workers.
People are saying we're short-staffed, it's unsafe, either pay us more or,
where the people
hire more
give
people.
us some reinforcements.
Right.
Exactly.
So the workload needs to be lessened or pay us more.
Cool.
Kaiser said they already hired some people.
Yes.
Okay. Across what? How many hospitals? 70,000 people
Yes.
went on strike in California.
Right.
These are the healthcare aides, not the nurses, not the RNs.
Not the nurses. Not even the nurses. These
Okay.
are the ancillary staff. These are the
Ancillary staff.
vocational nurses. These are the
Correct. The
NAs.
LPNs, RNs, I'm guessing.
The people that we
LPNs
need.
too or no? LPNs too or no?
Yes. Yes.
LPNs as well. Okay, so some nurses.
So that's
As
the
a
question.
as a multi-state, corporation, I can say I hired 10,000 people just last year
It's like a drop in the bucket
across 5 states. The workload is difficult. It is difficult. Let's talk about that. It's very difficult work. It's one of those things where, if you think about it, it's physical. It's physically demanding, right? It's not honorably, looked upon for some reason. So we need to change the culture of that, right? Because they are a vital part of our healthcare. Otherwise, it would fall back on the nurse's responsibility, and then we're gonna go to old school nursing. Between the two of you tackle 2 at a time. Workload was half. The day felt like it was half. But we moved away from that. We got into the business of getting ancillary staff in here, right? And helping people and lightening the load so we can go more documentation because we got paperwork to do.
Yeah.
I love paperwork.
No, you
I
don't.
do nothing but paperwork. It's one of those beautiful, beautiful dualities that we've created for ourselves again. Nurses, what you want, right? Going back to our own strikes and stuff like that. Where do you think the money's gonna go? Right?
Yeah.
Getting pampered is one thing, and then we get cut back. So I'm not surprised.
What I found interesting was that this is happening on the West Coast, and we're experiencing something very similar, if not exactly the same, over here on the East Coast. And it's just a reminder that this is not just, isolated to New York City, to New Jersey, to Connecticut, to Pennsylvania. This is not an isolated. This is happening all around the country. I don't know what's going around across the world. I mean, well, we do know, yeah. And then you have, and not to, I guess, bring this to politics, I guess, but I was at work the other day and there was some commentary or some questioning about, the recent surge that we're experiencing in New York. And one of the commentaries was, is it the migrant workers that are coming in? Volume of patients of just United States citizens. But then you have this influx of other people coming in and requiring, rightfully so, they require help. So now we're even more strained and we're experiencing this around the country. And what's the answer? What's the answer? Because we're going to
Okay,
have more strikes.
so now you're complicating the case
Yes.
with a influx of, you know, highly sicker, generally
Yes.
sicker, because people have been waiting longer to come to the hospital for some reason. The fear of going to hospitals and doctors, I don't think has become fully, you know, negated yet. So when they do show up, they are generally sicker, number one, so their acuity is higher. But secondly, yes, you know, there is more of them as well, because we now have an influx of, you know, a lot of different things, including patients. So when you have an influx of patients, you need to compensate, right? And that's a hard thing, because, you know, the compensation aspect of it, you have to go back to, and we would have to do the deeper dive is, you know, you would have to look at reimbursement through Medicaid and Medicaid, right? And availability.
Then my question for you is like,
Yes, sir.
so we have all of these external issues. So in reality, our government, in my opinion, might not be focused on Medicare and Medicaid at this point. They might be focusing on an ensuing war that might be coming. And what does that mean for healthcare workers? Because that is going to be even more of a strain.
Okay,
Like,
so now you
this is
opened
where
up
I'm
a
going.
can. Now you opened up a can, because this will
Yeah.
have to be a whole episode all on its own. Because here's the thing: if you want to talk about the war machine being opened up, and how it affects healthcare, a lot of different things. Remember, through war, a lot of gross, disgusting, vile things have happened, and because of those vile, disgusting, unbearably unconsented things have happened, all right, but out of those things, procedural knowledge has been developed through war.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
But we benefited from it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So that's the unknown. So the war machine affects everything, including healthcare, production, control, flow of medication, flow of market. Economics 101 says, you know, supply and demand. Supply and demand, and that chain is vital, and it affects everything. Supply chain demand ultimately affects everything. And with these workers, right,
That's my point.
it's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing. That's my point. The same exact thing. There's no difference. You have literally a scarcity of workers, and they're out there begging for more help, more workers. But then here's the kicker. With that. Nurses and people that are interested in healthcare are leaving healthcare. So you don't even have a healthy amount of people wanting to enter the workforce, the healthcare workforce.
It's easy to say people want more glorified jobs and they've moved forward, and they don't want the less glorified jobs. That would be the easy answer to that, because it really isn't. Like, remember, these are nurses' aides. These are the people who are washing people after they poop and pee, and they help them. Right. You know, the dirtiest tasks that happens between a human body in its vile moments of, you know, being sick. Right. It's one of those things where it's, you know, it's not glorified in any possibility, right? And it's physical too. Like, you're helping, assisting these 300, you know, monstrosities of a human beings at one point. Right? It's one thing that's day in and day out, 8 hours a shift. So they do hard work. So if we choose as nurses now, here's the thing, here's the kicker. Here's my question to you. As nurses, if they turn around and says, the system says, here's the thing, I only have enough money to do one of two things. I need nurses. I can't keep paying these people more. I'm going to do less of this and put more of that work back on nurses and hire more nurses. What do you say as a nurse?
So what do I say as a nurse? I mean, obviously I'm going to be into self-preservation.
That's the situation we're at, brother. That's the situation we're at. Yeah. Let me burst that bubble right now. That's what this conversation is.
Situation. or are they just getting this money and pocketing it and giving it to their CEOs, their presidents, those board members? Like, do they have the money, or are they greedy? And that's the question.
Here's your question. The influx of patients these past couple of years through COVID, did these people make money or did they lose money? What does the stock market say? Okay, so let's look at that. If they made money, let's talk about why. Okay, and if they made money, where is this money then? Correct? It should be reinvested in the care of the people, for the people, because ultimately speaking, it is the people's money that was invested into your company, right? And then the idea of insurance in itself is crazy for me, because if you break it down literally what it is that we're doing, it's hilarious. But
wait, toward that, because you can't make that statement. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What?
What?
You don't. What?
People are gonna be listening like, what did he mean by that?
Did I just go? Huh? Did I just do?
Why? Yes. Why is the idea of insurance?
Why did you laugh? I'm curious. Why did you laugh?
Because I think the insurance, like you said before, like we're the only country that really handles insurance the way it handles insurance, and it's
right.
It's more of a money. Like it's obviously like it's like capitalism at its finest. It's I need.
It's a love triangle, and I do this in no meaning of symbolic of any whatever theory, okay? But I'm just making a triangle as a data point. 1, 2, 3. It's a love triangle,
right?
And it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's a club.
We're getting screwed both ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a club,
everybody is.
And you're not in it.
Right.
It's a club.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the situation that we're in right now. I think that you have companies that are being defensive because they don't know what's going to happen geopolitically, and that might influence, healthcare needs.
So everybody's tightening their belt.
And everybody's tightening their belt, exactly.
All right.
And they don't want us to
this war zone thing.
More.
Then you're saying is hurting healthcare.
Yeah, that's really. That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna get worse. I think it's gonna be. I can't imagine what the world is gonna look like in 5 years, and then consequently, what is our healthcare system gonna look like in 5 years? And it does not look good, in my opinion, because the engine is revving far too long. There's no rest.
But the reality is that historically, historians, when they look about what is going on now, which is again like a war zone, and it's kind of getting an internal war zone at this point. So in this case, war has turned into a really bad double-edged sword. A lot of corporations will make a lot of money. A lot of people and patients are going to suffer because we're going to have to make some decisions on how we want to spend as big corporations, as big investors within our own communities still, right? And us not jacking things up.
And healthcare companies are no different from that. They have that same desire and incentive.
Correct.
And that's the scary part. To that point I made earlier, where that question from earlier, I don't really know if they're getting all of this money and pocketing it in some way, shape, or form. Are they being on the defense and trying to just hold out because they don't know what's going to happen geopolitically in the future? I don't know. And if that's the case, I get it. And I don't know if this is not an easy answer. Like, but what? But it's like you have to. You can't burn out the people that are there doing the work right now, because eventually you're not going to have anybody to work for you because they're going to be all sick and burnt out.
That's the nursing question that they're coming to you guys and asking. Do you want us to pay more nurses and get rid of these people? Because there will be layoffs. Like, if you look throughout the hospital systems across the states, you'll see layoffs.
Right.
And some of the executives are included in that, not just the staffing nurses who are, that they're talking about, right? So as nurses, that's an indirect conversation that they're having with us.
Yeah.
What do you guys want? What do you want to do? What do you guys want to do? Right? So that's a conversation. And that's a moral conversation as well. We do need the help. Do we need more of it or do we not more of it? Right? And at what cost to us? Because there will be a cost. Right? And the reality is they're coming in more acute. So
Yeah.
I think
They're coming in
the
more
idea of
acute.
inflation is hitting everybody very difficultly, right? People are hesitant to hire more people, right? And the money, I'll be honest with you, the money that they give more is still not enough.
Nah.
It's still not enough. So that's why people have started
100%.
chanting, safety of staffing, not even money anymore, right? People aren't even asking for money anymore. They're going, forget the money, send me the person, because I just can't physically catch this many people.
Right.
Their emergency rooms are, they're busy. They're busy.
And it's not going to get better. I mean, especially like in this season, it's September right now. Well, October rather. It's October. We have flu season coming.
Oh,
We don't know I can't even imagine what ER is going to look like when those seasons become more prominent. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for flu season. I'm nervous for COVID season because we're at a strain right now, and those we haven't even started hearing about flu and COVID really yet. COVID maybe a little bit, but not so
actually,
much. Flu.
COVID started already going up. But
Yeah, just a little. Yeah, it's starting, but not
Yeah.
the flu. So imagine a couple of weeks down the line, what are these ERs gonna look like?
Oh, the
Even
common
worse than
cold.
they are.
The common cold. Hold on. The rate of common cold has been less these past few years because of masks and stuff like that and hand washing, right? Just the common cold alone will become more rampant because, I think people forgot that you're gonna get hit with the common cold, that 3 to 5 day cold, and people are gonna freak out. Ow!
Yeah,
Because they're gonna go, oh, I got COVID.
Yeah.
I've got it. By the way, if you
then
can
people gonna
scream
call
and
out of
talk
work.
and, scream, right? Oh, they're gonna use that as an excuse to call out of work. Is that what you just said?
I mean, we gotta keep it real.
Excuses are us.
It happens.
Excuses.
And we all know somebody who faked the COVID.
Listen. I know.
We all know somebody.
That was rampant. Rampant. Honest to God, that was rampant. It was rampant.
What?
The numbers don't lie.
Get some days off.
Listen, the numbers don't lie on that one. I'm not even playing my management card.
No.
The numbers don't lie on that one. That's just data. That's data for data's sake. That you can't even fudge that data. That's paycheck data. You flow the money on that one, and you exactly see, what that looked like. So that's objectively, there. If you're really sick, please stay home. Please stay home. Please stay.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah. But we can't do that though. We can't do that.
We
The
can.
more we do that, we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yes.
We need to make
human.
the workplace more fun so people want to come to work and just have a little bit more fun and enjoy and just not deal with all the crazy different things that they're dealing with at home and whatever else. And it'll just be a place of just like, all right, I need to get some work done. Let me have some fun with these people doing it. We'll crack some jokes. We'll talk a little bit. We'll talk to the patients. The patients will talk to us. Set that expectations with your patients. We're gonna have some fun today, right? We need to do that because the work's not getting easier, and it will not get lighter. It will not. It's going to get harder. It's going to get harder. So, exactly.
part that scares me. We're not making changes rapidly enough to handle what's coming down the pipe. And that's what's scary. That should scare everyone. That should scare this. That's the point of this episode. 75,000 healthcare workers. We haven't even gotten to the other healthcare workers that are complaining. We haven't even gotten to the doctors yet. We haven't gotten to the PAs. We haven't gotten. Well, we just been hearing about the ancillary staff and registered nurses to this point, but we haven't, and medical students. We haven't heard about everybody else, and that should scare everyone. So, if you're not talking about healthcare or concerned about healthcare, and you are into politics, healthcare needs to be at the forefront, in my opinion, of everybody that is interested in politics and getting ready to vote, because it's going to be scary in the next couple of years, in my opinion.
It will have a ripple effect. It will have a ripple effect in society, because if healthcare goes downhill, right?
Oh my God.
If healthcare goes downhill, society will start going downhill. Make no joke of that, right? You get more angry, pissed off the meds, psychically untreated, more access to guns, more access to weapons, more access to knives, more access to, just bodily availability, because there's a whole lot of us living in a whole lot of close quarters. We're not living far, we're living in cities. Right? We really need to take this seriously. Healthcare cannot go down the hill. But at the same time, right? As a society, we need to make a collective decision on how we're going to approach that, because this needs to be a fundamental change, right? And I'm not saying corporations themselves can't do this.
I mean, I think that we all have an opportunity to really think about where we want this country to go. And, we were built off of people that got together, had an idea, had a common idea, and they put forth. And I think that we know that we need changes. I think that there's a bunch of smart people out there that could, you and I included, whoever, there's enough of us out there that can really put some things together and to come up with solutions, hardcore solutions that don't necessarily correlate to finances and capitalism, but really just thinking about, okay, how can we sustain humanity in this country for the next 100 years?
Right.
And I think that ultimately is where
I think it's a new branch of healthcare.
I
Welcome
like
to
that.
Better Nurse.